All right, guys, welcome to another installment of, well, technically it's not anime, it's manga by the Uncultured. I'm Taylor B, and as you can see, I'm also with my buddy Daniel right here. Um, uh, Basically, right now, we're just going to talk about the Dragon Ball Super chapter that came out recently, chapter 63. A lot was revealed to us and shown to us. First and foremost, Daniel, why don't you give them a little bit of background about, your interest in Dragon Ball and like the whole franchise?
Okay, how much time we got?
Not that much time, so make it quick.
All right, okay. I'll skip Dragon Ball and then I'll just go to Dragon Ball Z then.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll give the quick story with Dragon Ball then. I found a random comic of Dragon Ball in Japanese. I don't know how I found it, but I found it. Like, what the hell am I looking at? It was the one where he taught him how to do the Kamehameha. So that's what got me interested. And then I came home from school one day and I was watching, I was on the Spanish channel because that's when I first started liking Latinas. And so I went to the Spanish channel. And then Dragon Ball Z came on. And then Dragon Ball Z came on. I was like, yo, is this the same thing I was just reading in my comic? And it was completely, it was past the Saiyan saga already. It was already like in the Cell saga. So it was already turning Super Saiyan. And I was just like, this is legit. So that's what started my love. For the first 2 years of me liking Dragon Ball Z, I didn't know what was going on because it was all in Spanish. But I was there.
You could feel it, the passion, the intensity you were there for, man.
Oh
Also,
yeah.
for those of you that are unaware, Daniel's actually who kind of got me into Dragon Ball Super. He kind of like would constantly talk about the show and was like, bro, it's lit. Like, you need to watch, check it out. And every time he would show me something, or like, especially in the beginning, Future Trunk Saga and like the two little, first arcs with Beerus and Golden Frieza, I was like, this is whack. Like, these are it's just so boring. Like, this is plot holes, full of it, blah, blah, blah. Kind of just always hating on it until like eventually I was just like, whatever, man. I like it still, it's nostalgic. It's one of the first few animes that I actually saw and was like super into as a kid. And, from there, I've been following the story pretty much ever since. So, thank Daniel for me even talking about this right now. But we'll go right into it and start off with the chapter 63, Miras's resolve. Basically, what goes on is, Miras pretty much comes out, and obviously we have intel that he's an angel, and all that. He should not be here, obviously, because they're not supposed to interfere, but he decides to go ahead and do so anyways, giving Dende time to basically heal the crew of the Z fighters, and
The people don't even realize the fact that there's two angels in one universe is absolutely wild right now.
yeah.
Absolutely wild. I'm still trying to figure out what he did, in order to get kicked out of his angeldom to be having to walk around like a normal person. Haven't revealed that yet, but I really want to know at this point.
For sure. And as you can see, an angel compared to even Maro, who is like pretty much decimated, the cast of Z fighters, especially after he fused, with other people and stole their powers, Vegeta's, Piccolo's, whoever he can get his hands on pretty much. He's an overwhelming force right now, and Miras is pretty much handling him easily, He pulls out a weapon from pretty much thin air, and, they kind of get a little bit more serious, and then he decides to kind of really show off his angel powers. And then in doing so, obviously, at some point, he kind of like, I don't know if destabilizes or whatever. He starts to kind of get transparent, and eventually he finally disappears. He puts up a great fight, obviously. He's more than a match for Moro himself. But he's not actually trying to beat Moro, which is the crazy part. He's, he hurts him a bit, but the only thing he really seems to actually be focused on doing is disabling his ability to absorb people's power. And that's it. And he destroys the little jewels that are in his hands, his left and right hand. He destroys the jewel in his forehead and pretty much leaves it for Goku and the rest of the guys to actually face off and defeat Moro.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy to watch that, go down. Especially while he was, I understand some of your anger with old Dragon Ball Z because you're like, one of your things is like, why does something have to happen to somebody before somebody start acting serious out here? And I was reading the whole thing. I was like, yeah, Brandon gonna be mad because here he is proving his point, talking about somebody got to die before Goku's like, okay, I will be serious now, type of thing and all that. But I really like he was straight whooping his butt, whooping his tail though. Like I think with the last one knocking off the one on his forehead, he can't even use anybody's old abilities, let alone absorb them. So I think he's down to just having to use magic now and having to go. Well, hopefully, Dragon Ball and them pulling stuff out their ass. We'll see. We'll see exactly what happens. He might be like, "You missed one," and he has one under his armpit somewhere. Who knows? But
Yeah.
yeah, it was really crazy to see him just disappearing as he's fighting, and like the whole little speech he went on talking about, "Oh, I've grown to love the universe, and I've decided I'm going to sacrifice myself." I was tearing up a little bit. There's only two parts in Dragon Ball Super I teared up. It was this part, and when Goten and Chi Chi got killed by Black Goku, I was just like, oh man, that really hurts. I keep touching my face, but I have a mask on. Ignore that, people. Ignore that, people. So I'm really interested to see where it goes next. And once again, Vegeta is getting no love out here. He did something. He did something for a good 2 pages of this entire book. And here you go again on his back talking about Goku, save us, be our Black Spider-Man.
Yo, man, people have been going hard for the Vegeta support, man. He finally got like a little moment to shine, like you said, and then it was taken away just like that, right? And now we got Goku coming back out the woodwork. Once again, tries to use Ultra Instinct. It doesn't really work this time. The Ultra Instinct sign, and now Mirrors tells him, you could tap in, can't nobody beat you, and it's kind of like, oh man, like I've honestly pretty much thought since like Mirrors was introduced and we kind of learned who he was. I pretty much thought from the beginning that this is kind of setting up an arc for Goku to fight the angels, or at least like the Grand Priest, just because, clearly he thinks of Mirrors as a friend. At the end of the chapter, we see him kind of powering up even more, potentially going even further than Ultra Instinct Sign, hopefully. I don't really care if he's the one to defeat him or not, or if it's the whole crew. I'd rather it be the whole crew, because it kind of gives you more like character growth and stuff like that, and kind of growth of the series. But him talking like that, him talking like that, and him and us just seeing his relationship with Mirrors, I feel like he's going to try to do something to get Mirrors back, potentially. I don't know for sure, because the angels aren't necessarily evil, but I don't think that he enjoys that very much, that he's going to disappear because he helped them to to fight Maro off, and the angels didn't, or nobody else did anything about it. And also I think it's interesting to, at the very end of the chapter, let me see if I can find it real quick. We kind of get this weird, like, I don't know if Whis has ever given you kind of weird vibes, like you can't really read him sometimes, but most of the time we see him, he's pretty jovial and kind of just like into whatever he's doing, right? But on the very last page, we get this panel with Whis. What is it? Jocko's talking to Goku, he's gone. Mirrors, because he disappears. Beerus says, "Just gone, poof." And then Whis says, "Yes, sadly." And then Beerus just kind of looks down and he's like, "Right." And then Whis says, "He was an awkward little brother." But if you see that look on his face, it doesn't really, you don't see sadness in his face. You don't see like any kind of regret or like, empathy or anything like that. He's kind of just indifferent, it looks like, maybe even like, oh, who cares, And I feel like that's kind of setting us up for the next arc potentially of the series, where if what Mirror says is true and he doesn't think that anybody can beat him once he masters Ultra Instinct for real, then potentially it could lead to Goku versus Whis, Goku versus Grand Priest. We don't know what's going to happen, obviously. We'll have to wait and see. But that's just one of the theories that I have. I'm just curious to see where we're going to go after this, because Maro's definitely not going to be the last villain. But I'm kind of excited to see what's going to happen next.
Yeah, they have to make the next villain stronger than the last one.
Always.
So what I can see, what I'm hoping for possibly is that one of these angels, from the other universes that were brought back, it turns out to be evil or something like that, and then he comes back to wreak havoc. And they're like, oh, the gods can't touch him, none of the Z fighters can touch him, especially not Gohan. I don't want to see Gohan in another fight ever again. Like, stop it already. Stop throwing him out there and teasing everybody like that. I don't want to see no more of that. So I wonder if there's going to be an evil angel that's going to come out, and Goku's going to be like the only person that can do any type of fighting, because the angels are like, we can't actually fight them. So Goku, you're up. Go handle your business. We'll technically handle our business, but go ahead.
Yeah. Fight our fight for us, please. I also wanted to point out real quick too. I don't know if you noticed there was that panel where Dende's healing everybody, right? Pretty much everybody's down for the count, and Gohan is conscious. He's awake. He's like pretty much asking like, "Hey, like what's going on?" Like he even tells Dende at one point, "Heal me last. Heal my dad first, whatever. Heal me last. I'll wait for after everybody else."
Yeah, because you know what's up.
I'm not a huge Gohan fan by any means, but I know a lot of Gohan fans, including DJ. And I was curious though. He's like I said, he was still conscious. He wasn't like completely broken like everybody else. Do you think that says anything about Gohan? Do you think that maybe sometimes these are like little teases of like maybe like or foreshadowing of sorts to say like, okay, like we're gonna keep throwing these little tidbits out for Gohan to kind of like we might give him a little something. Just be on the lookout. There's gonna be reasons why, like, you know, if he's the only one that's awake after Moro beat everybody's ass and saying, "Hey, heal me last," or whatever, that shows like leadership skills. Obviously, he was the leader of the team when it came to the Tournament of Power. Obviously, he wasn't the last guy in the fight, but he was elected leader of the Tournament of Power. We obviously see him, kind of come out of retirement when Frieza came. He kind of got worked over towards the end there, but he still fought for the planet. Still didn't train. Had another fight, and then after that fight, he was like, "Look, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of getting my butt kicked. I used to be way stronger than this. I'm gonna get active again." And he gets his unlocked potential and all that stuff, And we kind of see the glimpses of old Gohan. People are, "Oh man, look at him. He's hanging with Super Saiyan Blue Goku, man. He's that dude again. Like, give Gohan his shine." I feel like we keep seeing these little glimpses, and it's gonna lead us to a moment for Gohan that I hope comes. Honestly, I don't want him to just kind of be fodder or just like it's a joke. He's constantly made a mockery of, just like Vegeta. I want to see Vegeta and Gohan get a shine, whether it's defeating a big bad that's like comparable to the final villain, or putting in good work against the big bad themselves. Even if they don't win, they do a good job at dealing with him or helping Goku or helping Vegeta in the end of it.
Yeah, he's one of those characters that you can tell you're not trying, like because I feel like that form, that ultimate form or whatever, or mystic, whatever the hell people want to call it. I feel like that was like real close to being God level, because they were like, a God can only unlock that for you, the same way that a God can only unlock the Super Saiyan Blue form with these guys and this and that.
Yeah.
So I feel like he was probably the closest one to even being a God at that point. I think that's why they dressed him up in the kami suit. I'm like, if he had stayed in that kami suit and came down, bro, woo-wee. That would have been legit. But him and Piccolo, too, because Piccolo, everybody forgets, Piccolo has God Ki, because you're a god. Low key, you took Kami in there. If Kami's a god, you have God Ki. So Piccolo should be doing more, too, along with Gohan. But I definitely want to see Gohan. Like, it pains my heart every time I see Gohan within the glasses and that suit, bro. I hate it so damn much. Like, stop.
Why are you wearing those damn glasses? You don't need them.
You see perfectly fine. Very well, no normal human clothes are going to fit these people. I don't know why they keep trying to stuff him. You're a Saiyan, bro. Like, you're going to be ripping through that shirt every time anyway. But I really want to see Gohan do something again, because we haven't seen him do nothing heroic and actually finish the fights itself.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody got super excited against Boo. And then, he got his father's habits of, not taking things seriously all the way to the end. And he took one for the team for it. And then when he was fighting, all of a sudden he was fighting Super Saiyan Blue when he unlocked his power again. Right? He was fighting against Super Saiyan Blue Goku, even though Goku was still holding back a little bit. But then even in the tournament of power, it was just like, you barely beat some of these people. and you're not even, he didn't transform one time, I don't think.
Yeah.
And even when he did transform, they like, you could tell by how they put all the power things behind him. It was like, everybody else was, yeah, here comes Gohan. That's how big his power scale was, and it was ridiculous. And then all of a sudden he's faster, and then he can be faster than Goku and fight Disco like that, and be. I see. I get it. He's smart. He's super smart. He actually belongs in that other universe. I think I told you this before. He belongs in the universe with all the robots. That's where you should belong, bro. Being that smart out here, but I really want to see him get his shine. I'd rather see Vegeta get his shine. This is about that. I don't think Vegeta's had his one time to shine where he's actually defeated somebody. It's his turn. Damn it.
I don't think, because
in the name of Jesus, it's his time.
I think because Vegeta's more of a secondary protagonist versus the potential mainstay, like Gohan, like it's Goku. Gohan is his son. So, I mean, I could see him being the main. But I think because Vegeta is the secondary, that makes him, he's never going to have that moment. He probably will help with the big bad. And I think that's where kind of like the ball has been dropped with him. It's like, you really gave the final fight to Goku, Frieza, and 17, in the Tournament of Power and let Vegeta defeat a potential god of destruction. Cool, that's great, but he couldn't help with the big bad. Like Goku and Vegeta are those two guys that we want to see team up. We don't really. I mean, people were hyped for Frieza and the 17th thing, but I'm sure.
No. The people in Japan were hyped for Frieza. The people in America don't give a damn about Frieza.
We want Vegeta, damn it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We can wrap this up right here. And we're gonna try to make this a regular thing, at least for like Dragon Ball Super. Maybe potentially in the future some other manga or animes that we watch too. But we both watch Super, so we kind of give our thoughts and opinions on this. And
I got some opinions on One Punch Man too. I'm just saying.
I mean, we can talk about that. I'm trying to get to season 2 or at least start reading it, but it's still going, and I definitely have a lot to say about One Punch Man as well. But that'll be it, guys. Check us out on YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud, and Apple Podcasts. Also, be sure to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Culture by the Uncultured on Facebook and Instagram, and CBTU Uncultured on Twitter. Check you guys out next time later.